Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Inner Hill Tarot, and today we're going to do the silent flip through of this very hard to find beautiful deck called Tarot of Delphi, from created and curated by the J.D. Hildegard Hinkle. And this is truly a master one of a kind thing because she's curated a lot of arts from the pre-Raphaelite artists, basically, a lot of them. And right now this deck of arts deck, it was being sold in a limited edition of 2 or 3 last night, and everyone went crazy because she sent email. She's selling 3 of this perfect deck, one of a perfect deck of Tarot of Delphi, and 2 of it is not good condition. And then she's also selling another deck of her, which is the Majestic Earth, which is I truly love as well, and also like a same condition, you know. One is perfect condition and it's still on sale now for $450 US dollars, and the other factory seconds are gone. My Majestic Earth Tarot is also the factory seconds. It's just a little bit of a knowledge to know. When you see some Majestic Earth for sale, you have to check this part. If you don't have it from the seller, you can ask. If you have this type of thing in the back of the deck, it means this is the factory seconds, and it should only fetch up a price between $40 to $80. Don't pay more than that, because a lot of people didn't know about this, and they being sold for like $200 $350 for the A grade of Majestic Earth itself, which is actually there are the special edition one that really fetch up that price, but the one that the factory second you shouldn't pay that much. Okay, I say this because one of the people that I know from the Facebook group has this problem, so she paid this top dollar only to understood that she's actually getting the factory seconds. And then when she's about to sell it, because she didn't know, and she put the top dollar on it because she paid top dollar for it as well, and then the people start to accuse her to want to make money out of it, you know. So with this video also, I want to let people know what to look at when it's factory seconds and not. And to be quite honest, my Majestic Earth factory seconds, you cannot really tell what is the flaw. Maybe I'm not careful enough or observant enough, but I really cannot tell where is the flaw of my deck, you know. Outside of course, I didn't get the extra star, the Hangman card, which is only available if you purchase a special edition one. But I really love my deck. It's if I was in a very mindset of in very anxious mindset, and I always use this deck to read for me. It's calming me down. So kudos for the creator Hildegard Hinkle to create this deck. Thank you so much for this deck. So okay, so let's go to the real star of the show today, which is Tarot of Delphi. Yeah, the first time I lay eyes on this deck of card is really the High Priestess, which is like Delphi priestess, basically, that's depicted here. And of course it's Greek mythology heavy. Some of it is I'm familiar, some of it I'm not, but yeah, I think it's a really stunning deck. I really love it. And thank you for Tammy Pie, who really gracefully letting her collection go. For me, I'm so happy to obtain this deck. And you see, like with this box, it's very has a very interesting curvature. This is one of the things that if you're buying a fake deck, you will never get this kind of treatment. The box itself is a artwork for me, you know. So this deck is also came from, I think it's a indie deck Kickstarter first time, and I believe I got the first edition of this deck, but let's check it out first from the guidebook. So it comes from Elio Publishing, Buffalo, New York, and it's yeah, it's printed in 2014, so I should get the first edition. Yeah, first edition 2014. Such a beautiful deck. And it is, and it says a different way of saying if it's a prince, princess, or page, or queen and king. Instead of that, they put devotee, artisan, hero, and enchantress. And it's also come with the credits of the image where this is came from. So if you would like to see it more, and probably if you live in Australia, in the UK, you can check out the real artwork itself. I can imagine it's very satisfying. Okay, anyway guys, let's start the show of this beautiful deck. And I think mine is being edged by the previous owner, which is I don't mind. And let's start the silent flip through. Oh yeah, before we really start the show, if you like my videos and you came across my channel a lot, please consider to subscribe, because right now I don't have a merch or Patreon or any tarot reading channel yet, so it will be very helpful to keep my channel going and grow if you subscribe, like, comments, and share my videos. Thank you guys, and let's start for real now. Okay guys, so we just finished the silent flip through of this beautiful deck, Tarot of Delphi, and right off the bat, I would say, the feeling that I get from this deck is very ancient feeling, and it creates a lot of maybe good for past life readings, or something that talking about habits that you inherited from the parents, for example, or caregivers that you want to understand the patterns about. And a lot of the scenes that depicted in the stories in this deck is something that I'm familiar with, but some of it, most of it also I'm not familiar at all. So for example, the one that I'm really familiar is this high priestess of Delphi herself, that the story, so it's begin with the virginal girls, basically like age 15 to 19, something like this, and they will not treat, how do you call it, they train these girls to understand the messages that came from these fumes from underneath the like a cavern or something like this in Delphi. And it is believed that these fumes is something that's toxic, and but it's also give you the idea like something that if you take a psychedelic, something like that, so you can see, you can give premonition basically based on the question that being asked of you. After a while, this kind of like the idea of the virginal girls is changed by the old women instead, because there's a lot of sexual abuse going on in Delphi at that time. So they change the Sibyl, the women that give premonition in Delphi. So quite powerful image. And so this deck also have two empresses, which is I'm not familiar enough with the scenes to give you guys a personal review on this, personal take right away. And to me, yeah, a lot of scenes that I don't understand yet, and I need to brush up my art history skill basically by read more about art history books of the pre-Raphaelite artists. One thing that I know about this, for example, the lovers, is this is Eros and Psyche, of course, and it's the epitome of the lovers, as when your psyche and your emotional body is in balance. That's the lovers, you know, you're in love with yourself in the most healthiest sensical way. Because also there is the one that's it's not very healthy, which is, oh, how come we missed it now? Where are you? The Four of Coins, which is the narcissist. The narcissist only see himself in the water and think that he can split his ego, and he can make his reflection as his lover. So we see like even the shape of the arrows itself is quite similar. Actually, it's kind of scary. But yeah, this is the healthy self-love, this is unhealthy self-love depicted in the Four of Coins. And I don't know, sometimes the Four of Coins is kind of tricky energy to depict, actually, because sometimes it can be like a stubbornness or stinginess when it comes to pentacles. And I guess I have to read more in the guidebook why Narcissus is associated with the Four of Coins energy, which is very interesting. But yeah, that's my take on it. And yeah, the other thing that I really like also, the Hermit card in this straight off the bat is because it's depicting one of the very famous hermit called Diogenes, and he's living in the middle of Rome as a hermit, and he's living in the middle of Rome inside this big ball or dome or something like that, and he doesn't even ask for money or food or something, and he's just living in the middle of the streets of Rome, which is like people come and go, but living as a hermit. So it's very appropriate, I guess, to have this painting as the hermit that Diogenes were, according to the story. And the other one said straight off the bat, striking to me, is the devil card also, because it's depicted again and again in the minor arcana as well. Instead of the devil, it's the siren, you know, and it's linked a lot with the story of Jason with Medea, Jason and the Argonauts, you know. Yeah, basically when you're trying to reach your golden fleece, your enlightenment, there's a lot of sirens trying to always distract you. So how are you managing this distraction in your life? Basically, it's very interesting that instead of the devil, she took the siren instead. So anyway, basically that's my take for today, my personal take, and I think I'm going to work more with this deck that's really depicting a lot of the goddesses energy for me, because now is the we almost in a winter time, and winter time for me is always energy of yin, of receptivity, of Persephone going back to the underworld to meet Hades. So I'm going to work a lot with this deck, and I will make a review soon of this deck. And I haven't even made the Majestic Earth review as well, so I think I will make it hand in hand together. So thank you guys if you're watching this video so far along until this moment. I'm really appreciated, because that's the only way right now you can help me grow my channel at this moment. And again, if you like these videos and my channel, please consider to subscribe. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Please share it with your friends who would probably benefit on knowing this. And thank you again. Have a good day and night whenever you watch this video. Thank you guys. Bye.